Hey guys, good morning. Happy Saturday. I just thought I would jump on and talk about the problems that people have paying their rent. Yes. And the reason that I do that is I see a lot of people online and offline that they are mostly elderly or disabled, and they all are trying to find places to rent. And there are so many rentals now that have the highest rent you could ever dream of. And they had something going on, and I can't remember where I seen it, but it was online. It was a news program, and they are really trying to get these rents under control for people, because there's a lot of people who are renting out houses, apartments, what have you. First of all, the apartments are not even worth $1,000 a month, and they're asking for $2,000, $2,500, whatever, and you get in there and the place is falling apart anyway. So basically, I think what it is they want more money, but they don't want to fix the place up. Where I live, and I'm not going to mention any names or what have you, but where I am, they sold our apartment house since we moved in it last year. And the gentleman who bought it, he's a nice guy, but he came here thinking that this was the Taj Mahal, apparently, and he was going to raise the rent. So he raised the rent to $1,000, and he told us that he will be raising it again in January of 26 to, I think it was $1,100. So the landlords are basically raising the rent every single year, but not doing anything to better the apartments or the houses. Now, our landlord did, he leveled this house, but it still isn't right. I guess the people that he had do it, they just didn't know what they were doing perfectly or whatever. But, so it's about the same. I mean, you're still stumbling to the right or left or whatever. Then I noticed that some of the cement on the stairs outside, where the stairs meet the building, which it's only 3 apartments, so it's not like a real big expense, but the stairs are, they're about, I want to say, 3 inches away from the building. And that wasn't like that before they leveled it. And when he leveled it, they didn't do any kind of work inside that was promised to us, like putting in new doors or getting the doors to at least fit. Like I have a 2-inch opening underneath my door. So the door, unfortunately, is right across from the cold air return and warm air return. So I have to put something in front of the door, because if I don't, it'll run all the time, especially in Texas. And after they did the leveling, I don't think people understand. I used to be a real estate agent, let me say that, in Chicago years and years ago. Okay, things are different and much more expensive. I got it. But when I was in my 20s, I was a real estate agent just for a short time. My kid's father just ruined everything. He was like, oh, you're going out all hours of the evening and blah, 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 Anyway. So I ended up not being in it very long. But back to what I was saying is, the places that are raising the rent are not necessarily nice up-to-date places. They kind of rigged the places up, if you know what I mean. Like the guy when we moved in here, and he wasn't even the current owner. He was the last owner. We won't even say it. But anyway, when I rented this apartment, I wanted to rent it because it was next door to my son. And as most of you know, he has real bad seizures. His wife has to work, and, he just has them anytime, even though he's on medication. So I wanted to take this place. So they told us to come down at a certain time and it would be ready. So we went back to Georgia, got everything ready to move, and rented the truck and everything else. And then ended up when we got here that he said the apartment was not ready yet. It would be 2 more weeks. So we ended up spending extra money we did not have to stay in a hotel for 2 weeks. So, of course, we thought he fixed it up. Well, according to people around the neighborhood, there were bullets being shot through the walls. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. They had a gun in here or something, and I don't know if it went off or what it did, or they were shooting at people. I don't know. But there was bullet holes in the walls. I didn't see it when I first came to look at the place because I was so upset about my son and trying to get a place in a decent area, which it is a decent area, but you have strange people everywhere now. But anyway, to make a long story short, the guy said he needed to paint the place, shampoo the carpet, what have you, right? This was the last owner when I moved in last year. What he did was patch the bullet holes, paint only the little square on the wall. They were in the middle of cleaning the stove when we got here. Well, and I thought they were going to shampoo the carpet. Okay? But the carpet wasn't shampooed. I think what they did is they sprayed that Woolite spray or whatever in the carpet and left it there. Forgot all about it, and it stayed in the carpet. And I could figure that out because, I've been cleaning the house for a long time. But anyway, and then I noticed that the stove was not clean. There was just a whole bunch of things, and like the commode is coming up kind of like since the new gentleman took over, the commode, and it's not his fault, but since they raised the house, I see that there's rotten wood around the commode because the linoleum is breaking, is kind of, coming apart. And I see it because I used to own my own home. So, I know the things you go through, right? Then I noticed that there was cracks in almost every wall and I'm talking about big cracks now, okay? I'm not talking about a little crack. One goes from the ceiling to the floor, and on the other side of that wall is my son and his wife. Okay, the windows, they are the windowsill under where the window closes. There's crack all the way across, and then under the window is more cracks. And when I say cracks, I wish I could say they were just little cracks, hairline cracks. They're not huge. I'm not going to say they're huge, but they are cracks. And we have gotten mice. Not a lot of mice, okay? My daughter-in-law has, I don't know how many cats. So, they chase them away usually. They're not in my house, though, So, they're probably chasing them over here. But anyway, yeah, we seen one the other day. Poor Rocky tried to go catch it, and he's so big, he was sliding everywhere. That thing got away from him so easy. But anyway, it's just a little mouse. But anyway, I thought it was funny. And what I'm talking about, though, is serious. I laugh about it and everything, but it's serious. And we have gotten so many different kind of bugs. This is Texas. You get bugs all the time anyway, but it's just been crazy. We've been fighting them. So anyway, my moral to my story is today that I'm glad they're working on these landlords who want all this rent. Now, I have a theory about this thing with all these high rents, because like places have went from $1,000 a month to $2,500 and $3,000 a month. And I'm not talking about no Taj Mahal house. I'm talking about mediocre, maybe your average, sometimes below average houses, okay, that don't have the work that they need to put in them, or if they did, it's cheap work that lasts for about 6 months. Not exaggerating. But anyway, my theory is that since the big C in 2020, I don't understand the whole thing, but for some reason the landlords could not evict people because they weren't paying their rent. And some people couldn't pay their rent, but then a lot of people could and they didn't, and they overstayed their stay just to do that crap, And I think they're trying to make up all they lost, but they're not going to do that. I heard the other day there has been a record number of RVs sold, even though we have some dealers that are being going out of business. Some of them are going out of business because they charge too much, or people cannot afford brand new RVs, so they get them off Facebook Marketplace or whatever, and hope that they're pretty good and that they don't have that much to spend. But there is so many people that are 1 week away from homelessness, and some even have kids. And out here in Texas, I almost died when I looked at the housing for seniors, which is the housing authority housing, I guess they call projects, They want $1,000 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment, I believe it is. 1-bedroom apartment. If you have a dog, you're only allowed 2 from what I hear. Some only allow 1. But whatever you have, a bird, a chicken, not a chicken, they won't let you have those. A bird, a fish, whatever. You got to pay an extra $100 a month for that animal. An extra $100 a month. Are you kidding me? I have a friend who lives in Amarillo. Man, she's been living there a long time and she likes it and everything, but she pays way too much. I think her rent is like $1,000 a month, and she has 2 dogs. She had 3, and then a couple of years ago or something, they told her she had to get rid of 1, and that was hard for her. She had them for so long, and she found a good home for her, but and they made her pay $100 for each dog. This woman is on Social Security. Come on, guys. How are these people supposed to, how are they supposed to make it, I mean, I can say, yeah, if there's somebody who can work and they're younger and they're just taking advantage or whatever, that's different. But when you have people who are disabled or whatever, it's crazy. It is crazy, guys. And I will tell you, I lived in an RV in Georgia for a couple of years. I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. Sure did. And it was $600 a month, and it included your electricity, water, and garbage, and sewer. $600 all inclusive, and the neighborhood was very quiet. Very quiet. And like I said, we moved here because somebody needed us, and we do that sometimes, But we have a rough time here. We really do, because Now, Bert's diagnosed with dementia. That's going to progressively get worse. It's already costing more because of the co-pays that we have to pay for, because even if you got not regular insurance, but the Advantage plans or whatever, you still have to pay co-pays for every test, for every lab, or, unless you are just all by yourself, then your copay may be $5 or something like that, but not for the test. If you get, like Bert had a brain scan, they had to give him a brain scan. Remember when he kept falling? I said he kept falling, so we got worried about him, and that's how they found out he had dementia, okay? And so they sent him for that brain scan because of his falling. And that's, like I said, how they found out he had it. The brain scan was $18,000 or something like that. Our part was $750 or more than that. I can't remember. We didn't have it. I mean, how do you pay for something that you don't have? So I tried to do Medicaid and get him on Medicaid. No, they turned us down. We make too much money. Yeah, okay. So I guess it's a state program, and if you make more than $2,000 a month for two people here, somewhere around like that, you don't get crap. Okay. They don't count your bills. They don't count that $1,000 a month rent. No. So, but there's hundreds and thousands of people doing this or trying to survive. And when we lived in Georgia, when we had our house, we lived kind of out of the city limits. Never in my life have I seen in Florida or Georgia, where we lived at anyway, people coming out of the woods in the morning with backpacks on. We seen it. And, everybody thinks they're all into something. Some of them are, but not all of them. Not all of them. Yeah. So, my theory for this video is, how are you guys dealing with this? Those of you who are renting, how are you dealing with the rental problem? What kind of apartment or house do you have that you're renting? And, I'm not trying to be nosy. I'm trying to see, because of this was in the last month where a lot of people were trying to move in campers and move in RVs. And a lot of the cities are outlawing them now, where they can't come and buy a piece of land and put just an RV on it. Now, they'll let you put it for a year while you build a house. And most of them don't want tiny houses. You have to go outside the city limits to do that. So I'm just curious. I mean, I know everybody is having a rough time, especially elderly people who worked all their life, most of them, and don't get enough on Social Security, which is probably just about everybody. And yes, there are some people that get a lot on Social Security, but you remember, those people are probably the people who already had a house. It's probably paid for already because they worked, made good money, they had good jobs, whatever. So they can live off of their Social Security. It's hard too. It's gotta be. The way prices are and everything. But anyway, I'm just curious. So I thought I would make a video today and see what y'all think about it. Leave me some comments and let me know what you think about the whole situation. It would be great to hear from other people, their point of view. And we will talk to you on the next one.